And then the last question, we're going to try to end on a positive note if we can. So even in these challenging times, I've heard amazing stories of agriculture companies helping to support communities and charities. So could you share some of the stories that you've been hearing in the industry, or even some that your own companies are doing in this environment?
I can start with one thing the dairy industry is doing for sure. The dairy industry created a kind of a last minute community impact grant through Midwest Dairy Association, which is our checkoff group. Is all of us sitting here, I believe Turkey does too. You have checkoff, right? We have checkoff groups for most commodities that exist, and those groups really work on. They have a small percentage of every check that they will take from those farmers to promote the products and to give opportunities to people to learn more about those products as well. So the dairy industry offered a grant that farmers could apply for to purchase like a commercial refrigerator for their local food banks. And that's something that we applied for our local ADA, our American Dairy Association, and we're able to get one of those. So we just found that out. So we'll be able to actually put that in the food bank and allow them to have access to actually having refrigerated foods in the food bank. So that's one thing. I know that as far as giving back to the communities, we just celebrated a huge safety goal at work, and that was 1 million hours worked without any recordables, OSHA recordables. We bought everybody gift cards for local restaurants just to help try to stimulate that. So I think there's a lot of those stories out there, but that's just a couple of things that we're doing.
Excellent. John, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we've done a lot of the things that I think most folks in the food world have done. We've made donations to food banks. We're fortunate that we're relatively close to the Twin Cities, so we've been able to be engaged with some of the food banks and services in the Twin Cities, and have certainly been able to help bridge some of that need. But I think here in our on-farm store, one of the things I'm most proud of is how quickly we got curbside pickup and local delivery up and running. And that not only really helped to serve our customers that were looking for easy access to food, but I'm really proud of the way that it also helped to support the farmers that we buy from. We're carrying a variety of local foods from about 100 other local farmers and food makers around the area. And when we stay open and can continue to serve our customers, we're providing a market for those farmers during a time where they're faced with all the same disruptions that we're talking about here today. So I think our ability to keep that market open and serve our customers and serve our farmers while keeping our staff busy. We've kept everybody at work. We haven't let anybody go. That's probably the piece of our response that I'm most proud of, is trying to take care of all the stakeholders that we work for each day.
Wonderful. JoDee, do you have anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the absolute bright spot, and it's the thing that I guess fills me up in amidst of all of the challenges that everyone is going through. So at Christensen Farms, we've donated to 17 food banks around the Midwest that we where we've got some operations. We're also the primary partner for the Brown County United Way Project Lunchbox. And so with COVID, that program has been extended to include, it was originally just K through 4. It's been extended up to K through 8, and the income restrictions have been lifted from that program. So we've expanded that program with the help of Brown County United Way. We've had lots of employees. We've donated over 100 masks to nursing homes and veterans in the community. So that's felt really good. So that's kind of on the food side of things. For our employees, obviously making sure that we continue to fill their buckets is so important, and to recognize how much we appreciate them and the packing people on the front lines that are all keeping this thing keeping the train on the tracks. But we got them hats and t-shirts that said "Proud to be Essential" and have our logo on them. And one of the things I'm most excited for was we just got notification today that we'll be partnering with several of the local restaurants in communities around the Midwest where we have operations. And our employees will be able to go in and pick up a curbside meal that Christensen Farms has purchased from those local businesses, again, to demonstrate our support for the community and show our appreciation for the employee. But the final thing that I kind of want to touch on is on the industry side of things. So as I mentioned, I'm on the Minnesota Pork Board, and a colleague of mine is on another Minnesota Pork Producers Association. And somewhat similar to what Natasha talked about, as board members, we were given a grant, a We Care grant, to demonstrate how the pork industry and how we really are demonstrating our ethical principles, and we are showing up and supporting our communities. And so what Adam and I were able to do were take dollars from that grant. We matched them, and Christensen Farms matched them again. And so we are able to provide support to the Southern Minnesota Crisis Nursery, which has been providing diapers and wipes and all kinds of resources for families who are home, who are maybe not able to afford those things, as well as they've stood up daycare services for essential employees. So they're really underserved and underfunded, and so we wanted to make sure they're taken care of. And then finally, we felt really passionate about getting some resources for farmer mental health. As Natasha mentioned, this is, there's just no words on how difficult and how emotionally taxing this is going to be. And having multi-generational farms that may not see the other side of this, and the shame and the guilt and the burden that they have on making sure that the livelihood that they had planned for future generations is changing right in front of their eyes. And we just want to make sure that farmers know that there's places to go, that there's resources for them, and that those resources are funded, because they are going to be needed in a big way.
Excellent. So that concludes the question round. So I want to thank you all for your efforts. I have no doubt that you're going to continue to rise to whatever challenge presents itself. Just want to thank you again for your time, and I hope everybody found this discussion to be really valuable and informative. I know I did. I learned a lot, so I appreciate all your time. We went a little bit over here, but I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. This was a bright spot in a hard time. Nice to lean on shoulders of others that are in the same spot. So much appreciated.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the opportunity, Heather.